So aloha, how's it, brah? So I'm down here at in IB. I cruised down for to get a Vietnamese latte, my usual, over at Katie's Cafe. And now I'm going to cruise home. I got to finish up some laundry. I got to mail a package to my folks with basically some warm clothes in it. Why am I doing that? Well, so I live here in Southern California, and as you might guess, for the most part, I don't have warm clothes. Certainly not warm clothes in comparison to what you would think you would need if you were going to New England. Now, and then I'm doing laundry, and then I'm going to pack. I'm on my way to Austin, Texas in a few days to meet with some folks at Dell. And then from there, I'm hopping over to the Philippines, where Gracie and I are going to basically celebrate our birthdays. Our birthdays are about 2 weeks apart. Mine's the 23rd of March, and then hers is the 8th of April. So, you know, about 15 days. And so, thank you, sir. And so, the cool part, though, is that I will be there with her on her birthday. And actually, that's really, I'm really looking forward to that. On her birthday, on her birth date, we're going to Palawan, by the way, which is a fairly large island. I would get, I mean, of the 7,000, however many islands there are in the Philippines. Actually, I think there's almost 7,100 and something. And then there's like it depends on the statistic, right? Because there's like a plus or minus sort of thing. I guess it depends on the tide, whether they have an island or not, which is sort of odd because, I mean, they're so close to the equator. It's interesting how really the tide doesn't go in and out a whole lot. But it does, and so therefore occasionally you will see a statistic of the maximum number of islands for the Philippines at low tide. But anyway, so we're going to be on Palawan for a couple of reasons. The first is that she and I both love to travel and explore together. The next thing is that it is a place that neither of us have been, even though she's Filipina. She's never been to Palawan. Which, you know, it's like saying, yeah, Mike's American and he's never been to Arkansas, you know. Just, in other words, it's a place in America, but just because I live here doesn't mean I've been there. And so we're going to go there and check it out. We're going to definitely be vacationing. But we're also going to be checking it out from the perspective of, hey, so is this someplace where we'd want to live? Because, you know, the beauty of White Beach in Boracay is that it is a beautiful white beach. And, you know, there's some infrastructure for sure in Boracay, and there is, you know, nice places to eat, and there's some westernization there. There's meetings there that I went to that are great. There's Westerners there that actually live there and are retired there, or work there, live there and work there. But it's very touristy, and from a Philippines perspective, it is expensive. And it's actually expensive from a Mike's perspective too. I don't particularly like to go to Southeast Asia and pay more than $100 a night to stay somewhere. I'm very comfortable spending 30, 40, you know, 50. I would prefer to spend less than 50, for sure. But in Boracay, while I absolutely could rent a condo, and you know, for an entire month and get that, you know, a little bit off the beach, and I could certainly stay there for, you know, divided by 30. I'm sure I could stay there for, you know, $40 a night, something like that. so $30 a night. I'm sure for $1,000 a month you can get a pretty darn nice condo. Even in Boracay, where it's expensive. In Palawan, it looks to me like for $500 a month, you can rent a pretty awesome house right near the beach. And so we're going to be checking that out. It'll actually be, unless we can find some better paradigm for travel than I've been looking into, we're probably going to be renting a car. I'm going to probably do that down near Princesa, because we fly into Puerto Princesa. So I'm probably going to be renting a car down near Puerto Princesa, and then from there we're going to drive up to a pretty touristy area, but nonetheless something that I think will be very interesting to do. And again, these are very popular tourist attractions because it's very popular with tourists. It's a very exciting and popular thing to do, which will be an underground cave of some kind. And so we will be probably kayaking or swimming or doing something to that effect in water underneath rocks. I don't really know, but so that will be a nice exploration. So from Princesa we'll drive up to, I think it's the Underground River is what it's sort of referred to as. And then from there we'll be driving over near Civilton Pier, where we will take our boat out to an island. And then back to Princesa, and in fact the Civilton port is kind of up near El Nido, which is sort of the other. There's basically two big sort of, big is a relative term, right? But bigger cities in Palawan, on the island of Palawan. So Puerto Princesa is sort of in the south, and then El Nido in the north. And so we'll be looking in both of those. And there's another channel actually that I watched for a while, and the guy was pretty good. He did great production value. He was easy to listen to. He and his girlfriend were very pleasant and informative and fun, and lively, positive. Suits to Shorts was the name of the channel, but I haven't seen him produce a video in 3-4 months. And at the time, his travels were basically, okay, so I'm leaving. He was working in Emirates, United Arab Emirates over there, and maybe potentially Dubai. And then from there he moved over to Palawan. And I think at the time it was his girlfriend, or maybe he had just gotten married, or he was going to get married, and now he, I believe, is married to his then girlfriend, who's Filipina. And so it sounded like they were, charting out on a really cool life. So good for him. But anyways, from Suits to Shorts was his YouTube channel, and he had some really cool videos about Palawan, some resorts, some vacationing they did, some areas they did. He had a video about a apartment that they were renting, I think, in Puerto Princesa. And I can't remember how much it cost, but from my perspective, it was like, okay, this is okay, but I'd rather have something better and closer to the water. I've always said, ever since I left Boston to come out here to San Diego, I could have stopped at any city along the way and made a living. But I like to live near the water, man. I live near the coast. It is an energy. It is a higher power. It is positive energy for me. And the warmer, the better. So anyway, so that's just kind of a check-in for this weekend. It's basically the end of March, and I'll be checking in and doing some videos throughout the end of this month. Possibly from Texas, and then on the flight over to, I hop through Taiwan to get over to Manila, and then we'll do some videos from there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, you're doing it wrong, and hope you're living your ass off. Ciao.